Tradition written on walls throughout halls of 4 seasons lost. In Austin, I saw and paused. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then it's his to this head and slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and rolls of life, love and pride, and her lives. The lead of the life, one subjective paradise, crystal shit and lids, moves reflected. Often bears a pit, clip, ready from ear to ear. Craving and rating the grain, rekindle the flame, close as she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise, we know I've heard this. In paradise, in paradise, we know our word is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Hey, hello everybody, welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Wednesday, October the 14th, and, actually it's 15th, because the 17th is on Saturday. Yeah, I'm trying to get everything done. We just got a new setup, and so it's been a pain in the butt trying to get it all squared away, but thanks to Josh and Cassidy here at Santa Fe Family Life Center, which is where we are today, trying to get everything set up, and we got everything done, and I think everything is ready to go. But we're going to test it out just this first time because tomorrow we're going to be back at Creed tomorrow. So I want to make sure that the new screen worked and you can see it right here. And things are looking a lot better, trying to get it all done, improving little by little. Was just wondering if I was going to have two screens or if I was just going to have one. But they got it squared up where I could do the two screens. And, of course, we are here at Santa Fe Family Life Center. Sports and fitness complex. Of course, we do a little bit of everything. This needs to be taken off because fall ball has already started, and it is wintertime season, so we need to redo that and take that off. But anyway, I want to thank Josh and thank Cassidy for getting me all set up, and Christine to make sure I got the new screen up. Everything's working because the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is because when we have people in the live chat, come up on live chat, I only have the one screen. So a lot of times if I'm talking, somebody's saying something, I can't see that they're doing it. So that part of that is part of set up for this. So I can now, when I'm at home, I can see it, but when remotely, I cannot see it. So now it's all set up for me to be able to get that accomplished and get that all squared away. So I'm excited about that. Now, that being said, Thunder last night played, and it's crazy because when you watch SGA and you watch what he does and the way he plays, he just plays so effortlessly. And the Thunder, of course, have proved that 3-2 and 2-0 when our starters play against the Bucks last night. And it was iHeart, it was SGA, iHeart, Kaysen, Caruso playing last night, and they played really good, and they got up to a lead, and he brings in the bench players, Barnheiser and those guys, and just not that we're bad, but we just have to it's like those guys are just not ready. I mean, I hate watching those guys, and I hate saying something bad about them, which I'm really not. I'm just critiquing their play. Those guys are, they're semi 14, 15 on the list because as we talked about before, you've got SGA, you've got J-Dub, you've got Dort, you've got Chet, you've got iHeart. That's your 5. Then you have Caruso 6, you have Kaysen 7. Then after that, you can kind of pick what you want to do. Are you going to do A.J. Mitchell at 8, or are you going to do Wiggins at 8? So that's 8, 9. Then you have Topic, that's 10. Then you have J-Will, that's 11. And you have K-Rich, that's 12. So you already know that's your 12. That's who you are. Now, you're going to bring in Barnheiser, or you're going to bring in Youngblood. Who you're going to bring in is that extra group mixed with those guys. So that's kind of the way the Thunder are set. And, of course, with Dagnall, he's going to play a bunch of them. But anyway, the Thunder took care of business, 116-112 last night. The Bucks were 18 for 45 from 3. The Thunder were 16 of 43. And shooting percentage, it was back up. It's weird. When SGA and them don't play, it's crazy that it's more around 38 to 40%. We don't shoot very well. When the starters play, this is about where we shoot. We out-rebounded them by 6. Points in the paint, pips, my favorite stat, pips, points in the paint, 40 to 32. And of course, turnovers were down 10 to their 21. And then with bench scoring, they outscored our bench 58 to 54, which is, about right. And then when you look at the game stats, this is kind of what tells you all that happened and the way that it broke down. And SGA, what he did, 23 points in 18 minutes, he's the MVP. He just is. He's the man. He's the one that does what he does, and he's just fun to watch. You can just see him last night, just kind of playing around, toying around with them. And Jamal Crawford, I love him being on there because, he gets a breakdown. His skill level was unmatched. Probably the most skilled player with ball handling ability in the NBA ever. Him and Kyrie are just ridiculous. Steph is good, but I don't think he's on the level of those two. So you look at iHeart last night, 22 minutes, 6 for 10. And once again, he hit a three. I was so excited because last year, remember out there, what was he, 0 for 15, 18, something like that from three last year, 0 for 20, whatever it was. But I was like, dude, you got to shoot the ball because if you don't shoot it, and I was made aware of last night on the broadcast that he used to shoot threes. And then he stopped in New York. I'm like, dude, we have to have you shoot threes because they just back off of you. So you've been able to pass and your ability of what you can bring to the offense is greatly negated because of the simple fact you don't shoot the three. So he needs to be able to do that. So I like the fact that he did shoot twice, 1 for 2, not bad, but you at least have to be somewhat of a threat. 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 13 points. I thought he played pretty good last night. That was just my opinion on what I saw from iHeart last night. SGA, like I said, 19 minutes, 23 points. What can you say? He's just 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He just does what he does. He just does what he does. 23 points, and he's magnificent to watch. And then for somebody like a Jamal Crawford to comment on him, and when I'm watching games, give me somebody who was a former player who knows what the hell they're talking about so you can give me some insight and be able to talk about things. Those are the things that matter to me. Those are the things that make the difference when I talk about skill and skilled players and what they can do. Alex Caruso, 17 minutes, 4 for 6, 1 for 3, 9 points. Caruso doing Caruso things. I mean, I love Caruso. I just really do. I loved him when he was in L.A. with the Lakers, and LeBron, of course, got rid of him. Thank you, LeBron, being the GM that you are, the excellent GM that you are. Fantastic. Lou Dort, 18 minutes, 8 points, 2 for 2 from 3. Lou looked good. I like that little fadeaway that he's developing where he kind of gets you driving. He pulls up for that little 10-foot fadeaway where he kind of steps back, but he fades on you, get you going. That little pull-up fade, I kind of like he's developing that. I don't mind him shooting that. But when he tries to go to the basket, make plays, and try to, bro, no. I want you to shoot the three. Now you develop that little step-back, fadeaway, little mid-range thing you got going on. I like that. Do that. Other than that, I don't want you trying to go to the basket, make plays. None of that. Dunk the ball if you get a chance, but try to make fantastic pass and be a playmaker. I'm out. Now, he has developed compared to what he was once he got in the league. I'm going to give you that 100%. Kaysen, 27 minutes. Kaysen still worries me. He still worries me. I don't think he's quite given. Last year, he was in his second year, and he played good, but I just need to see a bigger development in year 3. I need to see more of him. I need something better from Kaysen. I really, really do. So we'll see if he's going to give it to us, which I believe he will, because if somebody's going to be an heir apparent to Dort, it's going to have to be him defensively, but you're going to have to give us something offensively. You're way more skilled than he is, but you have to give us a little bit more. Barnhizer, he's okay. I mean, he doesn't – when I look at him, I don't go, yay, Barnhizer's in the game. I don't know. I go, what the hell is he doing in the game to me? That's how I would look at him. Leon's, I'm just not a fan of his. Jang, not a fan of either one of those two guys. Carlson, I like Carlson playing with that first group because he did win a game for us last year. He did knock it down threes. I like him a lot. I do like Carlson because he can stretch the floor. And he's a better shooter than J-Dub. And defensively, they are about the same. J-Dub, J-Will is more physically gifted than he is because he's got a bigger body. But offensively, J-Will is starting to knock down threes. But if I want somebody, when they shoot it, I go, oh, he missed? versus oh, you made it. You know what I mean? When I look at Carlson shoot a three, I'm thinking instantly he's going to make it. I look at Jay Will shooting a three, I'm hoping he's going to make it. That's the difference between those two. Aaron Wiggins, to me, trying to do his ball handling and stuff. I mean, I know that we're setting him up for trade, and I like Aaron, but to me, trying to turn him into a ball scorer, he just doesn't have the skill set for it. People were arguing with me the other night about J-Dub has more upside than SGA. I go, you're high. Hey, it was his third year. Well, look at SGA in his third year, what he was doing. He was carrying the Thunder in his third year. J-Dub is never going to carry the Thunder. Like I said, he reminds me of a Scottie Pippen. He's a great Robin, but he's not a Batman. He's a Robin. That's what he is. He's inconsistent. He'll be able to make some plays. He looks fantastic when the pressure is not on him to do things and to make things happen. I'm talking about consistently. Every now and then, 100% he can do that. Chris Youngblood, I like him. He only had 5 points, 1 for 7, 1 for 6 from 3, but I like Youngblood. I like what he does. I like who he is. I like him as a player. I like what he has to bring to the Thunder, and I like what I see from him. I really, really do. I really, truly like what I see from him and what he's doing. I'm a big fan of Youngblood. I think he'll be able to give us some good minutes. If I have the choice between him and Barnhizer, I'm taking Youngblood. I'm just saying. I'm taking Youngblood over Barnhizer if I've got to pick between the two, okay? That's just me. That's nothing against Barnhizer, but if I'm going to pick one or the other, I'm going to take him. Now, my rather is to have neither. When I look at it, of that whole group of Barnhizer, Carlson, Youngblood, if I have to take one of them, I'd rather have Carlson. Now, of course, it's going to depend on the situation, clearly. But if I take Barnhizer out, if I put Barnhizer in, that means I'm taking SJ out, J-Dub out, I'm taking Caruso out, I'm taking Kaysen out, I'm taking SGA out, I'm taking any of those guys out for him. Am I taking any of those guys out so I can play him? Hell no, I'm not. I don't give a shit about that experience. I'm out. Now, the same thing with Youngblood. Who am I taking out? Now, if Kaysen's having a bad day or if he's sitting or Dort's sitting or something like that, yeah, you can play him. But for the most part, I know the Dagnot's going to play him because that's what he does. Like we talked about many times, his two greatest strengths are he's a great developer of players, number one. And number two, he's great out of bounds. And he's great at those two things. Other than that, he's gotten better at being able to understand the flow of the game. He's gotten better at understanding lineups. But he's still deficient at them. He cost us games last year because him not understanding the thing. You can't go by analytics. You have to have a feel for the game. You have to feel what's happening. You have to feel the moment. Like we talked about against Denver last year. You had Caruso foul Gordon at the free throw line on the other end, up 3 with 7 seconds left with Jokic on the bench. What analytics tells you to do that? I've got my second best defensive player against a 6'7" guy who doesn't have handles, and we're up 3 with 7 seconds left, and he's got to go and make a play against Caruso. I'm not fouling. Why am I fouling? Now again, later on, he let it play out and foul later. But the point is, why are you fouling at all? They've got the ball on the other end, and analytics. They said, "Oh well, you want no." So anyway, those are his deficiencies. Those are the things that worry me about him. Now today we're going to have a real short show because, like I said, I was testing out the new equipment, getting it all in, trying to make sure everything works so that we can now give you a better show when we go remotely because we're going to do a lot more remotes this year. We're going to be more you're doing more creeds, more at Santa Fe, at UConn National Bank, YNB. We're going to be at the barbershop cutting up. We're going to be at Alchemy, the place where I get my hair braided. So we're going to be more there. We're going to be going to other different locations, Cat's Tavern. We're going to be at my nephew's place, Genofius. So we're going to be at a bunch of different places, okay? So I'm trying to increase the feel for what we're doing. Plus, like I said, when I'm doing remote, I can't see when someone is doing when we're going live and we have a bunch of people doing, in our live chat. I can't see them. Now I can see them on the two different screens like I can when I'm at home. If someone does something, I can see. And it's a lot easier for me to do it. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with everything. So I appreciate, like I said, Cassidy and Josh for getting all this stuff and helping me get set up because that's just not my main strengths. So that being said, let's go ahead and take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. SRB, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guy Mark Long up. They'd love to be able to take care of you over there, especially if you have, I'm sorry if you have engineering, surveying, and planning, if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, hit those guys up. They'd love to take care of you because, as we've always said, who the hell does not like clean drinking water or grow trucking if you have dirt, rock, or sand? That needs to be moved. I'm trying to get through this quickly because I know I'm running, my time is kind of short because I've got to go do my other thing, train kids in a little bit, so I'm trying to get all this done. I apologize for that. Yeah, but hit my guy up. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. You can pre-qualify with these guys online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into the main bank at 401M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, or Route 66, depending on how you look at it, okay? Or you can go into the YNB East, which is located off the Yukon Parkway and 39th Expressway, or US 66, YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road, YNB Parkway, 218 Garth Brooks Boulevard, cannot miss it. And then, of course, it's just south of I-40 on Garth Brooks, can't miss this right there. And then, of course, YNB People is located on 63rd, on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. They're in the great city of Bethany. Fantastic. And then, of course, tomorrow, as you know, we will be at the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Guys, it's some great smelling stuff. It truly, truly is. I would not recommend it if it wasn't. It is fantastic. And as they always say, remember, Matt, pick the best for your best. So if you're a guy that's got great perfume for your wife, for your girlfriend, significant other, you can go by and get them something while you're getting your own smell. Penn Square Mall, located the Dillard's Men's East. The Dillard's East, which is the men's store. That's where you can get it set up right there. And Gary Vick and I always talks about it because, man, as soon as you walk into Dillard's from the mall, you can just smell the Creed. It is so good. And then, of course, the west side of Dillard's, or the West Dillard's store, is where the women's department is. Or you can go to Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, which we will be going to pretty soon. Got to figure out a date that we can roll to Woodland Hills Mall. I think we're going to do that sometime this fall, probably sometime in November. I think we're going to roll there. They're waiting to see us, and we're waiting to go there as well. Town East Mall in Wichita, don't know if we're going to make that. We're going to try. My goal is to try to go to Wichita, Overland Park, Little Rock at least once. I don't think I'm going to Lubbock, and I don't think I'm going to Amarillo. For number one, I've never been to Amarillo, even though they've got a great place there, supposedly, and then South Plains Mall is supposed to be a beautiful place that they just built for the dealer store there. So supposedly, I don't know. I have not been there. And then on top of that, I went to the Creed store this weekend. I was in Houston. It was my birthday last Friday. Of course, that's why we did not do the show. And then I was planning on maybe even doing a remote there at the Creed, and just did not work out. But that being said, got to go to Galleria. And if you've never been to Galleria, I don't know how to help you. Galleria is one of my favorite places. And in fact, I have a pair of shoes that used to be my favorite place to shop. Is the Galleria there in Houston. And I have a pair of shoes that I got way back long time ago. I think I've had them since 2008, 2009. And, they only had 5 pair made in each, 1 pair made in each size, 2 pair made in each size, a 9, a 10, 11, 12, and a 13 in men's. They had one in Houston Galleria at the store there, and then the other one Edwardale Drive. Those are the only 2 places at Neiman's that you could buy them in, one or the other. And of course, I ended up getting mine there in Houston, and they're still just they're fantastic shoes, and I've been wearing them forever. And I mean, they're velvet and patent leather. Love those shoes. Absolutely love them. They're fantastic. Size 13, and I got the last pair that were available. So anyway, that being said, we're trying to get all of this stuff set up and trying to get a new feel for what we're trying to do here for the Unpopular Hour, and most importantly, too, for After the Storm, our OKC Thunder show that we do after every game, because this coming Tuesday is going to be the first Thunder home game against the Rockets. And we've talked about this before, how it is the first game and what's going to happen with the Thunder because of the simple fact that it's just Tuesday. It's 6 days away, and we do play the Rockets. And it comes down to three things people talk about. People talk about two things. I talk about really one because they talk about KD gets to see the banner, KD gets to see the rings, and that's true. But to me, the most important thing that it does is KD can get his record broke of 72 consecutive 20-point games. These radio people, TV people, all these, they don't even talk about it because they don't even get it. They're too busy caught up in what they think the narrative is with KD saying that Oklahoma City would never wear a ring, and all of a sudden we're winning one. To me, that's not it. I don't think KD has 2 rings. I don't think he really cares about that. Now, does he want to win another one? 100% he does. And do I think that he's probably a little bit, not hurt, but a little bit upset that he did not bring a ring to Oklahoma City because this is the place that drafted him, even though he was with the Seattle Supersonics the first year, even though the ownership for the current ownership for the Thunder did own that, and they were the first team to draft him, Sam Presti. I do believe that he would have loved to bring us a championship to the city. There's nothing you can tell me that doesn't. I just truly believe that. Number one. Number two, I just don't think watching us get a banner, watching us put a ring and get the rings. I'm sure it's going to bug him a little bit because that's just who he is. But to me, the thing that's going to bother him the most is the fact that he's tied with SGA right now with 72 consecutive 20-point games. You saw last night SGA had 23 in 18 minutes or 19 minutes or whatever it was. He's just so smooth. Now, I was talking to my guy Randy at YNB, and I was laughing. The commander, I was like, hey, I know I'm going to be at the game. So my thing is this, I want to so badly that SGA has 19 points. They'd run a screen and have KD in the game guarding SGA, and he scores either by fadeaway, pull-up three, or going to the basket. Either hand, left, right, because SGA can use either hand. So to me, that's what I look at and go, man, I want to film that so bad so that he can see that. So anyway, this is our schedule coming up, but more like I said, we play the Rockets Tuesday, Pacers on Thursday, and then the Hawks at the Hawks on Saturday, and then turn around and come back and play the Mavs and Dallas on that Monday, which I think I'm going to try to go to that game. That's my plan anyway. I don't know how I'm going to be able to pull that off because I have training until 5, and it depends on when the game is. I'm hoping it's a West Coast game. I'm hoping it's going to be a late game, but it says 7:30, so there's no way that I can leave here at 5 and get there by 7:30. It's just no way. No way. But I do want to go to that game because I do love the AAC, and I do love watching the Thunder play, and I do love going to Dallas. So all those things are kind of weighing me towards that direction. So, but anyway, that being said, I got to get off here because I get ready for this. But you know what? Let's do college football real quick. We'll do the NBA tomorrow or NFL tomorrow simply because we have a big game tomorrow, kind of. I don't know how big it is, but a college football schedule. Let me fix that real quick. I didn't look at this. Let me fix the schedule. And we got a lot of games. And I don't want to hear nothing about putting OSU in here. Yes, I put the Cowboys in there. Yes, I did. I get that because I did go to school there, so you have to give them some sort of love. And then I put the Nebraska Cornhuskers in there for my guy Drew Hinthorn, HuskerDrewPicks.com. I had to put him in there. Those are his boys. They're doing really well. They've got them going. So Nebraska at Minnesota. Nebraska is 8.5-point favorites, over under 52.5. That will be on Friday night at 8 p.m. on Fox. Then you got LSU versus Vandy. That's going to be a great game at Vandy. Vandy is one of those teams where they've got more money than what you think they do. And, to compete in the SEC, you have to be able to have money because you got to buy players. The NIL makes a huge difference there. And they're plus 2.5, which against LSU on the road, it's hard to win there. It should be plus 2.5, not minus 2.5, by the way. And then, of course, OU at South Carolina. South Carolina's plus 5.5. I don't know why I did that. Minus 5.5. I guess I said they're finding 5.5-point favorites over the Sooners. Man, SEC Network. Don't you think that should go I mean, if I had my choices, I'd rather watch the OU South Carolina game over LSU Vanderbilt, wouldn't you? Now, is that a hometown take? Well, hell yes, it is. Hell yes, it's a hometown take. Now, of course, you got A&M, OU -5.5-point underdogs, 11:45 on the SEC network. Texas A&M against Arkansas. Arkansas should be +5.5, not minus. But I was doing this all in a hurry. 2:30 on ESPN. Ole Miss at Georgia. 2:30 on ABC. Definitely will watch the Ole Miss Georgia. Definitely don't care nothing about the A&M Arkansas game. I think A&M is going to beat them. Texas Tech at Arizona. Throw them in there because it's a Big 12 matchup. So you have to give some love to the Big 12. Arizona State +7.5. Tennessee at Alabama. Gotta love the. Man, I'll tell you what. I don't know. I like Tennessee. I like Josh Heupel. I do. I like Josh Heupel. I'm gonna take Tennessee in the points in this game because I think they can beat Bama. I really, really do. I like what they're doing there, and I like what Heupel's doing has done. They're turning that Tennessee program around. USC versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame -9.5. 6:30 game. I'm gonna probably watch Tennessee and Bama. I don't really care about the other. And then of course Utah at BYU, another Big 12 game that night, 7 o'clock on Fox. And then of course the Cowboys, ESPN2 at 7 o'clock at home. In fact, I may go to that game. Depending on what the weather is. I don't have anything else to do. I may just go to that game because it sounds like something that I probably would enjoy going to and accepting and enjoying. So anyway, that being said, hey guys, sorry about the late day. Sorry about this kind of mess up with the show today. We will be tomorrow. We'll be better tomorrow now that we've got everything set up. Everything is working perfectly. I know how to do everything. And like I said, thank you, Josh, and thank you, Cassidy, for helping me make sure this runs properly because that's what we do here at Santa Fe Family Life Center. We make your life better. We make your life better by working out, making your life better by having basketball facilities if you have teams for your kids or for you as a coach. We make that better. Plus, we just do things the right way around here. And with our new management with Josh, you got to love what Josh has brought to here to Santa Fe and what we're doing. So like the new direction, like what's going on here, and appreciate his leadership. That being said, peace out. Have a good one. Remember, 2025 World